This week, episode 323 of Stogie Geeks. Drew and I have some stuff that we need to discuss. We're going to talk cigars and spirits for sure. We're going to try to not talk about this funky thing that's going on across the nation that's shutting places down. We're going to try our very hardest for that. It's been a long week. Anything can happen Friday, and we have a bunch of topics and emails that I want to review, and I want to talk to Drew and bring him up to speed as to some of the things that have been on my mind in the industry as it's rapidly changing minute by minute or email by email blitz. Stogie Geeks episode 323 starts right now.
This is a Security Weekly production. Broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island, it's the show where cigars burn slow, ashes fall fast, and cocktails flow steady. It's the Stogie Geek Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. Joe and I are already silly.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Hozempa, a.k.a. Joe Hollywood, is here with me in studio.
I'm fired up.
And
Plasencia Cigars, perfected for more than 150 years. Yours to enjoy now.
Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo.
Confidence. Confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air, thinking you're better than anyone else. It's walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone in the first place.
Welcome to Stogie Geeks, episode 323. I am your host, Joe Hozempa. It's a privilege and an honor to be here on Stogie Geeks. It has been one hell of a long week, but before we talk about that, today is Anything Can Happen Friday. I am laughing inside because before I start the show and right after I introduce Drew, I just got an email update about what's going on in Congress from legitimate people, so you want to stay tuned as we walk that episode. Anyway, I welcome the little dark-haired boy from Texas, Drew. How's it going?
Good, brother. Good to be back. I know last week I missed a very good interview with Dr. Gabby, and I had some work engagements to really attend to last week. It is Friday the 13th, so definitely anything can happen. So, here we are amid a pandemic throughout the, country, as you touched about earlier. Other than that, man, I'm alive and kicking, brother.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it has been one heck of a week. It's been a long week, for sure. And news cycles are switching a little bit there. If I can just get a little bit of audio on my headphones, that'd be great. Okay, so, Drew, I just got an email. Okay, I'll divulge where I got it from and all of that stuff here on the show. It's titled "Where Premium Cigars Stand in Congress," and then in brackets after that, update. Okay, so if you're a cigar smoker, you probably heard about some of the regulation by the potential FDA and how they might move it out of the FDA. Here's a couple things that you need to know about what's going on. Okay? What's going on? I'm going to give you a synopsis for this. If anybody needs a link, Joe H. at StogieGeeks.com. I'll CC Drew, and away we go.
Right.
So anyway, so what's going on? Congress is finishing up a bill that will attach potential funding for to do test blends that don't exceed a specific predicate date, and it's in the process of constructing language that and then big red. Here's the point, right? Language, and I quote, language that would exempt premium cigars from FDA control. Right?
Wow.
Pretty cool,
There you go.
right? So we have language that says, and I quote, language that would exempt cigars from FDA control. However, negotiations are done in private and they are ongoing, such as there is no guarantee that the language would be available within the final bill. Okay? The cigar industry has asked consumers to call congressional leaders and to make sure that the language obviously stays in the bill. Okay? So it's in the bill to separate premium cigars from the proposed bill. Under FDA regulations, amid the potentially catastrophic things that could happen to a massive slowdown, right? Not shutdown, slowdown in new products, the end of limited production, and removal of half the cigars currently being sold on shelves here in the U.S. All stuff that we've said. This isn't breaking news, okay?
Right.
2, it's a 4-part process. 2, what would be exempted? Great question, right? Great question.
Right.
So here we go. It is believed that the definition of premium cigars included in the bill would be much more appropriate if the proposed definition was set as to what a premium cigar is. Logical.
Yes.
There we go. We're
Very
getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Hold on. Language is likely to exempt premium cigars. Language is likely to exempt premium cigars similar to how they are taxed under the SHIP. That's national taxation from a America standpoint, not state legislature and all of that stuff there too. Okay, great. Section 3. When will we find out? All right, we get some traction, Drew. All right.
Yes, sir.
Tuesday. Doesn't give a date though. It just says Tuesday. While most of Congress left Friday afternoon, the leadership in those appropriations committees are working through the weekend to continue to have the negotiations continue. So most of them left, but they're continuing. Totally can happen. The whole remote thing is becoming like
The norm.
The norm, right? So okay, all right.
Correct.
I can believe that. The delay means, the potential delay means that Congress will have to pass another short term through the House with various government agencies that are funded in the meantime. Okay? All right, sure. Other tobacco products, I can buy that. Oh, I don't. Well, cool. I don't have an ashtray. Nice. Nice. That's all right. So, what should I do as a cigar consumer? This is it. It's the final spot, and there's a purpose for me reading to you this because this is updated from Congress, right?
Right.
What should I do? I'm sorry. You know when you read something before and you're like, freaking, the views reflect that I'm about to read are not Joe Zempa, right? Keep calling in writing. Below are 3 numbers that you can call for your representatives that need to to have premium cigars be exempted from FDA regulation. Thank you, sir. And it gives the numbers, and I'm not gonna bother you with that. So that's an update from Congress. Bullet point, because I'm really not good at reading on the fly, especially visually. So if you're watching this, I apologize, but it does have a point. That's why I'm trying to move fast. All right, so it does have a point. What's going on? We all know it's being regulated. Trying to get it out of the FDA's hands. Easy enough? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
2.
Definitely.
2. What are we asking to be exempted? Premium cigars. What are we gonna do? Find a definition of premium cigars. That's cool. I'm fair. I'm like it. Okay. I've only been saying that for a while. All right. When will we find out? Tuesday. They're working on it, but overhaul. Well, okay, cool. Yep.
That might be a Wimpy Tuesday, right?
Well, Tuesday's.
Remember Wimpy? When he used to pay, he used to tell somebody that he was going to pay for a hamburger. Give him a hamburger today. He'll pay for it on Tuesday.
Yep.
But he just never said what Tuesday he was going to pay.
Never said it.
Okay.
I got it, Drew. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a little slow on this. Okay? And what should you do? Keep calling and writing your congressman. Flash him an email. There you go. Okay.
Correct.
Cool. All right.
Yes.
You ready for this? You know the timestamp on that email? I said I just got an email, right?
Yeah, you just got it. So
yeah.
What is the timestamp on it?
Okay. That's the only thing I kind of did that. I'm going through some archive notes.
Yeah.
Ready? November 3rd, 2015.
Okay.
So,
And it's
interesting. I just pulled up an archived email from my work of FDA regulars day, and I read you verbatimly
right.
an email. Well, not verbatimly. I'm sorry. I read you synopsis-wise breaking news update from Congress on November of 2015.
But it's happening today.
There you go.
Or this coming.
There's your. So all the other cigar podcasts out there that talk about this, that, and the other thing, and all that stuff there too. Blah blah. Go back and check your show notes. We're talking about the same thing over and over with this FDA. It's crazy because other than me saying I just got it in, you would legitimately think that has particular traction.
Right.
And that's my point. Only thing to add to that, if you want to fast forward it up to this, is you know about the possible legislation of having the cigars go to $12 and all of that stuff, right? To be a minimum to go online and all of that stuff. What do you think about what do you think about all of that and that intro there? What's good? There has to be a million and one things going on through your head. I was trying to be serious, but I couldn't be serious because I knew of the date. Like, think about that. Just. That was one of my things that I just read when I was doing the intro, and I'm like, that's weird. I'm starting the show with this because I go show by show with or without you doing that there, and we're trying to talk legitimately about traction. If there's traction, there you go. There's even shows about traction. There's shows about where they potential, and it's like I sometimes feel that I could probably hook up what's it called? Jingle Palette, right? It's a audio video thing that we use for production, right? We've used it in TV and radio, and we use it here as well. And I could probably do sound bites of myself and probably do a whole episode with a congressman or woman about that and just hit Jingle Palette and not, if I ever had laryngitis, which they would probably hope that I have, or probably would come on the show if I did, I could literally press the buttons and do that there.
Yeah. So as of late, I mean, what you just touched on in that email, as of late, I mean, that's just what's now, in the fruition world and Congress about separating, premium cigars from the OTBs.
Yep.
And that being that, it's the same soundbite from 2015 and beyond.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's like who are they trying to appease at this point? I mean, we're in an election year coming up, and I don't, I can get into all that rhetoric, but it gets lost in translation. But here we are. So, everybody feels like it's gaining traction. It's going to go fast. It's not. I mean, I think you have always said, and I'll put my bets on what you have said. It'll be 2023, 2025 by the time all this comes to full-on fruition, and then everybody can go about their cigar business and the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are not?
Yeah, and,
is that what you said before?
well, no.
About 2020?
Originally, when this dialogue began, and I was on Cigar Club Radio, we were talking. I was talking, and I says it's gonna, and I've said it multiple times. I was like, it's gonna be 2020 by the time we even have any type of traction, and I kind of said it like just I don't know. Some of my close friends say, well, that's just Joe being Joe, because I like to give a visual anyway, both in and out of Stogie Geeks. I don't have word economy. It's just the way. So and I'm like, it's gonna be 2020, and now here we are, and even all of last year, I'm like, here we are in 2019, and I just see zero traction, and all the panic, and and then we finally got a little bit of traction. Okay, a bill passed to have it not go through the FDA, have there be a separate committee. Okay, sure. Does that involve a predicate date and or testing? Answer's unknown. And then also tagging in stipends online. Because how bills work is they put riders on them, right? So if you vote for this bill, HR, which stands for House of Representatives, for those of you who might not know, HR 123, the same bill can be an S456, right? I'm just making numbers up, so please don't look them up, right?
Amendments to the bills,
and then they throw riders on them, and then they do that, and that happens a lot at the town level there, because especially I know that from a Rhode Island perspective, because as you know, we're very geographically small, but we have 39 states and municipalities, so we have 39 decision entities. I don't even think Texas does. How many do you know? How many Texas does have? I don't know off the top of my head, and not to put you on the spot, but my point is you could drive through Rhode Island in 35 minutes, right? And so, it's one of those things where it takes a while. Also, having that be my first professional job, it takes a while for that legislative process to go through. And then you also got to remember, okay, so something passed in the House, that's been the big hype. A lot of cigar influencers, either be they on the podcast or cigar, I'm not picking on any names, but any type of cigar owner who has a social media account is excited about this. This is great for our industry, or this is bad, whatever their opinion is. And then I'm saying it only passed the House. It's not going to get through the Senate. It's not going to get, because historically speaking, from any type of vote, House seems to be a little bit more flexible. I'm not going to use the word liberal or anything like that. Used to be a little bit more flexible with some of their committees in there. And then even if it passes through Senate, we still have 3 branches of government. We should have learned this in the 6th or 7th grade, depending on your curriculum, right? And then from there, and then I really don't think that our current president will do anything to hurt or hinder small business in or out of the industry. And now with everything that's been happening this week with some of the shutdowns and some of the postponements, it's again, I always said this since 2015, the government has bigger fish to fry or bigger things to worry about than the premium cigar industry. We should just move forward. We should just move forward. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, having these bill updates, through, like as you were saying, through other social media platforms, and I implore the cigar consumer, you got to keep writing. Just keep, every time that happens, we get past a certain hurdle. Keep writing. You're a congressman. Just talk about the hurdle that they just passed and how great it is to, give them an attaboy, an attaboy email, and just keep them going on the momentum until we get to that point. So, and I do. I write about 6 emails a week to give them attaboys and give them some points that I'm thinking and deep thought, and just kind of help that further the argument or the discussion of separating the premium cigar industry from OTB.
Mm-hmm. I mean, today's Anything Can Happen Friday, so you can feel free to fire back with me with any out of there questions you have. How do you feel about organizations that send out in the newsletter what to say? Like what or now because of technology, what to tweet and who to tweet. Like there's now been like if you copy and paste here on Twitter, if that's your platform, or Facebook or whatever, it'll go to the appropriate person. So they how do you think about that? Like, well, what's your personal take on that?
I don't have one on that because I'm gonna tell you what, it's like this. I mean, if you need help, basically coming up with an email. I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and read through it and then just kind of pick bits out of it and then put your email in your own words. I don't like to, plagiarize somebody else's work. I just try to, take a little bit from their thoughts and then bring it in together with my thoughts. And if it works, great. And then I translate it into my own and then throw it out there. But yeah, I prefer if you try to be as genuine as you can. Not try, do be as genuine as you can in your communication, and also to anyone that's in the industry regarding these matters.
Yep, you bring up a valid point because having worked for a House of Representatives, the methodology then. Now, keep in mind, I'm not here to tell you I know the latest and greatest, but the methodology then, if templated emails came in. They got printed and put into a pile, and they weren't read, but they were counted. Right now, obviously, every congressman or woman at the federal level has a staff and has a chief of staff, and they keep track of those statistics. And those statistics actually, when they have a briefing with ex-congressman or woman, depending on how many templated emails that go in, it's up for the chief of staff to say, hey, we've gotten these emails, although they're templated, it's from, and it could be out of the industry, right? Could be from the Teamsters Union, could be from these people who are upset because you're taking a bridge down or you're going to put a windmill in their section or whatever. It raises a flag so that the chief of staff's job is to inform that person, like, should we show up to the next event? I know in our case, it was always, does it fit in my schedule? A congressperson's schedule is usually 6 to 8 months out. In an election year, it's even further. So, they get counted, but I'm not 100% sure that they all get read, especially if they're templated. Now, the ones that are not templated have to be read by a staff member so they can put them in the appropriate bucket as to whatever the person is emailing or contacting the Congress office about, whatever issue it would be about, because them, just like the government, are working on a ton of issues, both on a federal level and on within their district as to where they're voted. So just like a little inside baseball there, because we're all on newsletters and forums, and again, I'm not picking on any. I'm just trying to with this show, I want to raise content and have discussion that can give people some information so that they can go on and make a decision for themselves. Like, something, I should go contact my congressman, or the retailers that watch this show should turn around and say, I should, or I probably shouldn't have done a template. I should probably just tell them my story and stuff like that. But they do get counted and they do warrant there. But again, there are so many other issues that are pressing. I just think it now, defaulting back to your original comment, could be 2023 or 24. I mean, if we have a second cycle of current president, where are we? 20? It's 2026. Right?
That's true. Yeah. I wonder, on this topic we're talking about right now, I wonder how the brick and mortar shops are also giving out this information and sharing it with their club members or their patrons, because that also, as I talk to my lounge, know me over at Prestige Tobacco and Cigar Lounge over there in Bedford, we talk extensively about sharing this information and giving this to our patrons and having them understand why it's important for them to get involved on that level, because again, we talk to a lot of cigar reps that come through the shop, and whether they're coming there to do a cut and light, and I, for one, am always asking our patrons or our lounge members to bring up this matter and talk to them and see where they're at, take some notes, and then just kind of put them all together and fire off an email. So that's important, I think, on that level, because then you get really a real genuine sense of how strong the patrons, consumers are about this happening.
I get mixed
in
reviews.
Congress.
I get mixed reviews from the retailers. I get some that I ultra respect their position in their stance. Like, I'm going to continue operating until something changes, and then I'll pivot, but I'll be fine. Which, not for nothing, if I it's like, I know we can't hug this week. We need our personal space. However, got it. Perfect. Genius. Like, you continue to operate, because at that time you're going to get the money, right? And it's not all about money, but you have a business, right? You continue to operate, and then when something tells you that you can't go, and then I get others that are like, oh my God, $12 a stick. This brand, that brand, that brand. That's a $5 stick I'm selling it for. It's a great $5 stick, right?
Yeah.
It's a great $8 stick. I sell a lot of them now. If I want to sell them online, it's going to be $12. I was like, dude, whoa, relax. It's like, and I tell them, and they're like, what do you think? And I says, well, have you ever driven down a street? And how do you go to work, right? I would say, how do you go to work? Oh, I go, okay, is there a bridge? Yeah, okay, you go to bridge, okay? All of a sudden, there's a cop car and a couple of Jersey barriers across the bridge. The bridge is closed. What do? You don't go, officer, I got to get over that bridge. That's how I got to get to work. Or you don't get in your car and turn around and say, I can't get to work today. There's no bridge, right? You find a way. So if we do that in our daily lives, why can't an industry do that in their lives? I mean, there are now outside of the or even inside the with this whole situation that's going on with shutdowns and whatnot, business is going to find another way to survive somehow, some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all subscribe to newsletters of business, and they're all telling us what they're doing for this pandemic and where they're going and guiding us through, and and it's like you're going to find a way. So just find your way. And let it go, because it's like, relax. We're all not in control of anything, man. But again, I think that most business owners do take from my feedback, I'm gonna take it and then go, and then and whatever happens is what happens. Also, a lot of brick and mortars, like, I'm not even online. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that's strike one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hats off. Has nothing to do because he's from Texas. I've admired Don from Underground. I mean, he's not only got a following locally, he's got an underground. He's got an online presence as well. And it's like, you know something? He built a destination and he built a business. That's it.
Simple.
And it's like, just do it. Just do it. So anyway, I just thought that was a pretty good way to lead into anything can happen Friday, or the Friday the 13th episode of Stogie Geeks. But you really wanted to talk about pairings today. I love talking about pairings, because every time we talk about pairings, I get a barrage of emails of this is what I like. Do you know what I like? Do you think that this is worth it? I got a couple about Pappy when we did a Drew promotion early last year with the Pappy cigars, and people were asking me like my opinion on like the Pappy, not the cigar, the drink, the Pappy Fairwinkle. And I'm like, it's again, my answer is going to be the same. It's what you're comfortable with. Go out and experiment and explore for yourself. It's the same. It's the same it's the same argument I would make in regards to any of this pending regulation. Is get out there and explore and start to come up with creative ways to do business.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know a cigar shop owner who's in total utter panic. There's no sports on.
Right.
Like literally. Well, there's no sports on for the next 3 weeks. Well, my business, and I'm like, are you a sports bar? Like in my mind, like you know what I mean. I'm like, I don't. Well, no, people don't like to smoke cigars and watch sports. I'm smoking a cigar whether there's a freaking game on or not. Yes.
He could always pivot to karaoke cigar.
Please don't give anybody ideas, Drew. Don't give anybody ideas. You know.
Oh man, just messing. Exactly. One of my things I tell people that I like to do is, I'm becoming a spirits connoisseur. As of the last year now, and really, I got great support. I got great educational people behind me that offer me a lot of information. So yeah, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump off. Is that okay? Can I jump off into my first one?
Yeah, you can jump off. I'm just having a little scatterbrained. Have you ever had the La Aurora the 115th year?
Yes, I've had that. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Then I won't send you some. I actually, Drew, your box is being constructed.
What?
Yes, I have it on my desk, and I am making a list, and I am shipping cigars. So it's really happening.
All right. Can we put that in a nice
quote
stainless lockdown package? COVID-19 free.
Yeah, I can arrange for that. Scout's honor. So yeah, I got a perfect box to ship in, and we're starting that. Paul did some shopping. So you will be getting some goodies finally your way. Hey, at least we sent the equipment your way first. That was most important. Right?
Exactly. The equipment was very important because I'll tell you, me being on that lo-fi system sucked big time.
Yeah.
So this is really nice to have, definitely. So please, I can't thank you guys enough for that, for the equipment. But yeah, and I also have your box ready too. Actually,
you're just waiting for my box. At least my cigars will be aged.
My assistant was just telling me right now. She's like, "Hey, we got Joe's box ready a week ago, and you still haven't not sent it." So she's just been tasked to take my card and go ship it to y'all.
Whoa!
I got some nice surprises in her.
You have an assistant?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I got to renegotiate my contract here at Stogie Geeks. That's what I need. An assistant.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. I like it. All right.
Hey, whiskey sour or whiskey mash.
Yes.
You like those? Add those?
Yeah.
Are they delicious?
Let me think about it. Yes. Yep.
So yeah, whiskey mash, whiskey sours. I mean, one of my favorite drinks as of late. I've been going to all these different, bars, eateries, and I'll make up friends with the bartender, and I'll start asking them what they like to make, and they'll start giving a list. And I'm like, well, how about we start with a whiskey mash or sour? And next thing I know, I'm enjoying something that's different to where they're from. And every bartender has a region that they're from, and they start breaking down, their makeup of the drink. And so, yeah, this drink right here is, it's got a sweet and tart taste to it. It's the bourbon has creates a flavor and it just becomes a refreshment drink with the citrus and things of that nature. So with this cigar, with this drink, I've been enjoying creme brulees with this drink.
Creme brulees
lately.
By
Steve Saka.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah. So the creme brulees with this drink.
Yep.
And you get the sweet, you get the crispness of the drink. It's you get the floral notes. I mean, everything just comes together. It's a great spring drink, and it just it marries well. And Yeah, I just, this is definitely something I would definitely recommend cigar enthusiasts and spirit enthusiasts to get the mashup going, man. I mean, try these things out. I mean, these are just, you'll find an enjoyment there, especially during these days right now where you can't go outside and enjoy things with 500 plus people. So why not stay home or go to your favorite bar where they only allow 10 patrons in at a time, and enjoy the space and enjoy the beverage with the Stogie.
Mm-hmm. Any other sticks that you would compare that to? Because I have an interesting thought from that as well.
Oh yeah. So the other ones are going to be like some of the Cuba acids. Some of the acid sticks again. You get a lot of flora. You get a lot of sweetness there to balance it out. I tried a fat bottom Betty with it. This thing was, and then with the brown sugars and the baking spices. I mean, just that was another one there I liked. The other stick was the Rocky Patel Decade.
Oh yeah,
it was a Decade.
Yep.
Again, you get a lot of aromatics from Rocky Patel's Decade stick, and so those are my sticks with that drink, and there's more.
Yeah. No, you're looking at it. You mentioned the drink, and you mentioned an exact pairing for that. I'm going to just go. You looked at it as for like boots on the ground. I'm going to I want to go to a place where I can enjoy a cigar and a cocktail. I'm going to order product A, product B, and match them. I'm going to look at it from a step differently of concept A, concept B, but bringing it in and matching it. What I mean by that is if you were going to have your drink, which was a whiskey sour, right, or a mashed whiskey sour, right? Mashed whiskey sour, I'm just assuming it's mashed first like it was being prepared and muddled and all of that stuff there too.
Muddled.
Muddled. Yeah, let me tell you something. Paul is super into that stuff. He does it on his Big Thursday show all the time. If you watch early episodes of Stogie Geeks, when it was on, they were really, really big into that. Just so for the Stogie Geeks listeners at home, and you actually venture out to a brick and mortar that serves drinks, ask if they have any drinks that specials that they mash, because at the end of this episode we're going to be able to pair up cigars and concepts with that. So there is a difference than if you go to a place and say I'll have a whiskey sour, or if you have anything and then you have it mashed, because having it mashed really brings out the juices and the contents that and bitters of what's going to be mashed. So there's a point being taken there. Okay, now you also mentioned Rocky Patel Decade, Deadwood, Fat Bottom Betty, Cuba, and the original one, the Cream Brulee by Steve Saka. Here's the point of matching product A with concept B. With the exception of the Cuba, in my opinion, all of those cigars have in strength have a barely medium profile, right? Yes. So again, if you go to a local shop and you want a cigar and a cocktail and those brands are not available, you want to go with a lighter cigar. Maybe Connecticut Shade would be a safe bet for you, so that your cigar is subtle and the subtle on your palate in regards to strength, not taste, strength. And then in regards to taste, that's discretionary, right? Some people might like the Cuba over the Cream Brulee. I personally like the Deadwood Fat Bottom Betty over the Cuba, although we all know about my Cuba and time and cadence of when I do smoke them there. However, and then obviously Decade, amazing stick. Talked about it a gazillion times here on the show. And so if you go with a barely medium profile or light profile in regards to strength, Connecticut Shade wrapper, Nicaraguan, you could go Nicaraguan tobacco, but I would go Honduran binder, whatever combination you want, just to not go like Nicaraguan is my point. Which will then make it be a medium plus or a medium to a full. Whiskey sour pair with a lighter bodied profiled cigar.
Oh yeah, and that's a good point, because I when I go out and I try to keep a little journal of what I'm doing as far as the mixer. I always try to go in when choosing my whiskeys. Because some whiskeys have a higher alcohol strength or proof, so that also plays into that decision of what I'm going to pair it up with. Mm-hmm. If I'm not going to get that really sweet, tarty taste that a mash is known for, and I'm gonna go more in the strength on the alcohol, then I start to how do you say change it up a little bit. And one of the ways I do change it up is with these nice bad boys. So a lot of my friends know me as the smoky guy, because I like to get smoke chips, and I like to smoke the glass and then mix the drink. Or when I go out somewhere, I'll ask them, do you do any smoking? Can you smoke the glass? And then again, that just brings out more aromatics and more flavors, but so forth. There's a lot to go around with this.
Actually, to back you up, if you go to StogieGeeks.com and type in like smoking drinks, Paul did a whole segment. I know he did one with previous hosts. He also did one with me as well, so you can get a better idea. But you actually smoke the glass there, and it does that. We were supposed to do a segment on that and do a smoker there. Also, if you're making drinks at home, you have a bunch of friends that, you do box split with a friend on a Stogie Geeks recommendation or something like that, or another recommendation. Don't be afraid to experiment with bitters. To my right, if I were to face the set this way, which is the PSW, the Paul Security Weekly set, there's a bar behind us here. It's a bar right here, and we probably have, I don't know, 30, probably 20, 25 different types of bitters that Paul's got, and all people have come from the security or Stogie Geeks before and brought some cocktails and do that, and you can make some pretty good recipes there as well. And if you got a good one that you want to recommend, email joe@stogiegeeks.com or Drew at stogiegeeks.com, or both of us, and let us know for sure, because I always like to experiment with some of that there. Speaking on kind of classic, I like Scotch. I'm a little bit more into whiskey or rum. It's more I love rum in cigars. I love red wine in cigars. We'll save the wine for another segment at another time. But with whiskey, I like to go with a classic Padron. Because the whiskey can be like, and I'm talking just whiskey neat, right? So either neat, you can do on the rocks there, or just whiskey with like almost like 2 drops or 3 drops of water with an eyedrop. I don't use an eyedropper. I just give a little, you know what I mean? And away you go. But whiskey, with the Padron is a solid choice. Or
that's
whiskey,
classic.
or classic. Also, if you take it a step above, if you're comparing like the 2 levels for the purpose of this segment here, whiskey with like something aged that's like a staple of whatever brand it is. So it could be 20-year anniversary, something or other, 50-year, whatever. They come up with classic limited runs all the time. I think whiskey is a super cool choice for that. What else you got?
So and if you don't mind, I want to kind of give a shout out to one of my friends here. Now I want to share this with the Stogie Geeks listener and yourself, Joe. On YouTube, a friend of mine, his name is Chris Trevino. I met him early last year, and he has a show or a YouTube channel called Liquor Hound. And I'm going to tell you, just type in Liquor Hound, check them out. I mean, you talk about experiencing or just going through the experience with spirits. I mean, this is one I would definitely want to share with everybody, just because, I mean, you just start to self-educate yourself and you move forward with your cigar pairings and things of that nature, or any kind of pairings. I mean, dinner, what have you. But anyhow, Liquor Hound, check them out. Chris Trevino, tell them Drew sent you from Stogie Geeks.
There you go.
So
wait a minute before you continue,
go ahead.
since you're driving this bus, it's shout out time, right? So we might as well take care of that. I gotta read it underneath the light. I can't see what the setup. I did get an email, by the way. It's dated over this week, so there's no tricks this time, right? McAuliffe Cigars announced a new Maduro, and it's called "quote unquote" to be named. McAuliffe Cigars releases a brick and mortar exclusive. This is a 6.75 by 6.75 by 54 Grand Toro. It has a Maduro wrapper, Sumatra binder, and a mix of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. This is the first cigar of 2020 for McAuliffe Cigars, and it celebrates the 1-year anniversary of the McAuliffe Ambassador Program. They are McAuliffe Cigars are continuing the Ambassador Program. If you're new to that program, all you have to do is go to StogieGeeks.com, click on that McAuliffe logo, and type in your information. They are looking for a cigar ambassador in your area, something that would be fascinating if you want to step into the industry and meet some people. There for sure. There are some benefits that will go with the ambassador program. But in regards to this McAuliffe Maduro to be named, it retails for around $7.50. It'll be shipping to brick and mortar stores immediately. So that was over this month here. And talk about going on and continuing with your business regardless of what's going on. Anyway, if you want to join the Ambassador Program, StogieGeeks.com, click on that Ambassador Program. You get an Ambassador coin, an exclusive Facebook group membership, couple of swag items there. They have contests for ambassadors that I am not aware of yet because I am not an ambassador. So if you are a McAuliffe ambassador and you signed up through the Stogie Geeks program, email Drew and I. We'd like to get a chance to catch up with you. I am told that we are going to have an interview coming pretty soon with McAuliffe Cigars, so Stogie Geeks, you want to stay tuned for that. You get a 25% discount on all swag items, and you get a behind-the-scenes view of a boutique cigar company. So something to pay attention to. Let's continue on with the show.
Nice. So, anyways, what I was saying was that on your take on whiskeys, I particularly am liking the Glen Mirage 18-year-old Scotch. It's a Scotch whiskey, and it's extremely rare. That's what they're titling it as. It's about $125 on the market, but that, man, you're talking about a good cigar. With that is going to be my cigar of the year choice that did not become cigar of the year is the San Lantano cigar with AJ Fernandez. So great pairing on that. That's just, again, I mean, I've done this Scotch whiskey with different sticks, like some of the Opus X, the Don Lino Africa sticks. But yeah, this one here with the San Lantano, which is a light medium wrapper. It's a medium body cigar, and it pairs well with it. So just wanted to put that out there.
What was the drink again?
Glen Mirage 18-year-old Scotch whiskey. Extremely rare is what it's titled. So it's just a straight, you just take it neat. I like my beverages neat.
Yeah.
By the way, so I don't do a lot of ice and all that other stuff. But
you don't do the water or the little dropper thing. I don't know. It opens it up a little bit.
Yeah, I do that. I've been doing that lately with some of the stuff that I've been getting. I've been watching Chris's videos and just kind of just learning that process.
Yep.
Because sometimes you can put water in something and it just ruins it. So I'm learning that process right as we speak. You know, and then like in the last couple months, and try not to ruin good whiskeys.
I hear you.
So
did you like this La Aurora, the one I'm smoking, the 115?
Yes.
It's
It's been a while, but yeah, I think it's going to be like the last time I smoked it was back in November of last year. Because I had just had the La Aurora 107.
Yep.
Yep. I just had that one. So, but it's been a while. I'll have to go back and kind of figure that out again.
I'm loving the retro. I'm halfway through and 100% just sitting here, comfy, cozy in the chair and just like, damn, this cigar's freaking good. You know, that's all. You know, if it's distracting me, like it's which is why I forgot like what you said about the drink when I asked. I was like, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Drew? Are we doing a show? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my next drink on my list was.
What about me? You don't care, though.
Hold on. Enjoy that cigar for a little bit longer.
Okay, cool.
It's my turn. Johnny, hit the mute button on him, please. No, I'm just kidding. Mint julep. So that's my next drink. Again, you know, staying with things that are fresh, that are citrus, that are minty, and simple syrup, crushed ice. I mean, just one of my favorite drinks, you know, especially during the Kentucky Derby season, you know, or when I go to the racetrack just down the street from my house over here.
Maybe.
But with this...
there might be a Derby. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, mint julep, again, I mean, just a lot of, you know, it combines bourbon, simple syrup, mint, crushed ice. It's a simple ingredient, simple drink. But pairing it, again, you know, I've done that with the, I think the number 3 stick of the year, which was the, I'm trying to think of the name of that. No, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. On that one, I was with the J.C. Newman Black Diamond. Actually, that's what I had with.
I love that stick.
Oh my goodness, man! So I went with that stick.
With the mint julep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And surprise, you know, for me and my palate, man, it was just it rounded everything out very well. Spicy, you know, you get the spicy, you get the sweet. You get the mint, then you come back in with some oak. You know, all these things just was working on my palate. You know, every time I've had that drink with the Black Diamond, I somehow, some way, I've just decided to just go ahead and buy some boxes of Black Diamond, and just because I like to have that drink, you know, quite a bit. But yeah, that was my stick for that drink. What about you?
That's interesting because regardless of what I was going to say, I thought you were still going to come up with something that's a little bit of lighter in the profile.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to round out saying that, okay, this segment we really did spirits, but we picked it with a lighter profile. But again, I guess that's not the case. So that's great, right? Open dialogue.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying Anything Can Happen Friday? Right. I've always had like the profile of a Black Diamond with drinks that I guess you could say that are kind of salty, right? Bloody Mary. Mm-hmm. A Bloody Mary for sure, right? I pair a ton of stuff. I pair a ton of stuff with Bloody Mary, or I would go martini.
Martini,
a dirty martini, again, salty. You got some of the olive component there. I am going to make it a quest for myself to have a mint julep with that type of profile cigar. Because I would totally waiting for your response in the cigar. I thought it would be lighter again, so that you're enjoying the sweetness. Talk to us about the the palate, how that's on your palate, because like I said, I've often gone stronger cigars for pairing, a salty type of mix, or a red wine, which that's another discussion, right? Depends on mood, right? So I've never, I shouldn't say I never, I'm sure I have, but as far as like my go-to, I probably would go for something more salty. Not that I don't like the sweeter drinks, like you would have simple syrup in there and whatnot. But if I've done that, I've always traditionally went with a lighter smoke because of bringing out the drink. So tell just Ben, if you could kind of elaborate how that is, because the Black Diamond isn't a light cigar.
Not by any means
at all. I mean, it's a phenomenal cigar.
Of the imagination.
I like it. It's in my wheelhouse. I mean, I totally like it. So what's that like with the sweetness of the crisp? You have sweetness, but it's not sweet like Maduri sour or fruity sweet. It's crispy sweet on your palate, and there is a difference. So how's that contrast with the stronger cigar?
I'll tell you, you're absolutely right. So I've always done it with martinis. I've always did it with some Merlot and some of my. I'm talking about the Black Diamond. I've also paired it up with some cabs, and so because the heavy body, the flavor, the tannins, the way they coat the palate, and then come back there with my Stogie. But on this side of the fence, with the with the crispness of that. I mean, first of all, my bourbon was like, I want to say 100.8%, 108 proof. So that was a little on the heavy side. The bourbon of choice was smoky in itself. But then when you break it in with the simple syrup and mint, and the crushed ice, it brought a balance to it. So when I went in with my JC with the Black Diamond stick, I liked that when I took my draws of my stick during the rotation of my drinking of the drink, it just created an extra sensory inside, on my umami, on the sides, the salty sides of your tongue, or whatever the taste buds that are there. So it just really lightened it cleaned it up. So to be able to take that smoke contact in, and you're right, it does get heavy. And once that but once that process goes through, I mean, it on the retro hell, or just releasing that draw. It paired nicely. I mean, it came through really great. So, smoke content wise, yes, it's heavy, but it seemed to do fine.
I'm trying to create a visual. Like when I do salty with strong, it's almost like what are those called in math? Exponents. Like you taste it, and it's strong. So you take a sip. Yeah. You take a sip of the Bloody Mary or the something salty, whatever, salt water, whatever it is that you're having. And then when you have strong, it makes it go from like here to here, right? Like you know what I mean? Yeah. So you're like, okay, that's good. Oh wow, and it opens it up and makes it a little bit more intensive if you're going salty. The way you're describing it is, to me, it's almost like so you have your strong, but then it's like maybe like oil and water or whatever, or oil and vinegar. You know how they separate? It separates the palate. It's separate. Wow, that's interesting. That will be my quest this week if we get 50-degree weather here. Because if we have 20, I don't think I'm going to be going for a mint julep. I'm just not feeling it. But we've been having a couple of 50-degree days here, and I think I'm going to do that. Where I'm going to.
Are you there? Oh, you broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have a Black Diamond, and I'm going to have a mint julep, and I will report back.
Oh yeah, and the other one to that too. A couple of buddies of mine they'll get a Brazilian Maduro wrapper cigar with that. The smooth, the spicy, and then it to them it's been a fantastic compliment to the mint julep as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Awesome. Do you have any other pairings? Because
I love my heavy body cigars, so it's hard for me to keep. I mean, if you look at my humidor here, my beautiful J.C. Newman humidor, by the way, it's. I mean, I got like some of my Connecticut wrappers. I mean, you'll see a lot of dark cigars, a lot of heavy body cigars in there, for sure.
But you got your light ones too. I've been on a taste kick for light stuff, and a lot of that has to deal like usually when Paul does a lot of shopping to stock the humidor. He gets a lot. Most of the stuff he gets is a little lighter for my profile, but I try it, and it's like I always like, man, I forget like how much I enjoy this stuff as well. You know what I mean? It's like it gives your palate a little bit of rest, for sure. We've been into the Romeo and Julieta Heritage.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever have one?
That's been a while.
You ever have one of those?
That's been a long time. It's been a while.
It's going in the box, so that's good.
All right.
Yeah, we've been going, and I'm like, wow, and again, it's like I know it's because I think, oh, it's good, and then the next day I come in and Paul's in the office like, dude, did you have this vintage? I'm like, that's great, and then we get into our dialogue and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, yeah, because you just ride the wave, and then you forget sometimes how much you enjoy some of the classic or some of the lighter bodied profile when you're doing that. And you bring a good point too. In the summer, like I'm talking like crazy hot days in summer, right? I'm talking about heat. Yeah. I'm talking about heat, and I live in the Northeast as someone from Texas. Like I bet you if I lived in Texas, there's more heat days than we have here in the Northeast, right? I would probably subside from some of the real strong heavy stuff because your body sometimes it's like one of those things where you get out of the shower and you're still sweating and the AC's still on. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like one of those days you're like you really don't want to go Nicaragua and wrap a binder filler. Sometimes.
No, we have this wonderful concoction called Texas Teas. Oh my God! So that's my next project right now is working on these Texas Teas.
I've had those. Not in Texas. But that's like a Long Island iced tea-ish. It's like a 5-liquor combo. Yeah. And I think Texas makes it 6 because it's Texas. Am I right on that?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's very complex, and so I'm trying to figure out some complex sticks to marry with those, but that'll be for another segment another time. But yeah, during the weather months or summer months here, I mean it can be 100 degrees for 90 days straight. I mean 100 plus degrees, 90 days straight, and so there's I've been always being able to enjoy sticks, all sticks throughout the summer months. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that's when I go down to like some of the asylum sticks, some of the Estelle sticks. I go down to some of the sticks that are Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, that are from like the volcanic soils in Estelle, Nicaragua, that have tasty flavors. Their espresso, their earthiness, oak, spice. I'll break up with some of those, and I love experimenting. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another pairing I like is rum, and we can get rowdy on rum. I like rum. I love rum in the summer. I like rum neat in the summer. I love lazy rum days for sure. And pairing a My Father something or other, anything usually in that My Father line with the rum is a good go-to for me. It gives me, I get the sweetness of the rum. The laziness of the eyes from the rum underneath the eyes, and you just kind of like it just really puts me in like a real tranquil mood. And then when you do like a My Father, you got a little bit of kick in there from the blend, but they're a little medium plus some of them, but they're in that medium profile, and again, classic facing with Dom Pepin there, or that's probably the only times I've always said on the show I like Dom Pepin Black better than Dom Pepin Blue, even though the Blue got a higher rating back in its day. But if I'm doing a rum, I'd probably toggle it back and go to the Blue. The Black seems a little bit more stronger in my profile, on my palate, but I would jump back into a Blue and kick back, and that's a good combo for me as well.
Mm. Oh yeah. So
you want to change subject right quick as we got a couple of minutes remaining, or we want to stay on this and then wrap it up? What are you thinking?
No. I was going to say, a couple. Let's go ahead and break from this from this topic and go. Well, what I wanted to say to a lot of our Stogie Geeks listeners is, so I was doing a cigar morning stogies. I was doing that. Yeah, and
You've
so what I'm doing right
3
now.
weeks.
What's that?
You've subsided for 3 weeks.
I've subsided longer than that. So what it is that I'm developing a new format to bring this, and I actually have already gotten some in the can. And what I want to do is I want to bring this like into a video deal. And what I'm doing is with the Stogies of the morning is, just give a quick talk about the Stogie. And just kind of talk about why this Stogie is perfect for the morning, and just kind of give information, where it's grown. I want to give it original content. I don't want to go out and just do the cut and paste or just kind of grab the information. Not that I was doing that 100%, but sometimes I would be stressed, not stressed for time, but just stretched for time. So I'm bringing in original content together. This will also go in line with another project that you and I will be working with that you don't even know about yet. So, but yeah, I just wanted to let some of the viewers know, because I'm getting a lot of emails. Hey, what's going on with Morning Stogies? And I enjoy it. It kicks out my day. I love. So I just want to let our followers know that that's coming back here in mid-April. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be under a new format and just going to be awesome. And I think that also the cigar manufacturers are going to really love it, and it's going to create some exciting content. So
yeah, once you get a batch of those 4 or 5, whatever, I'll talk to Paul and see if we could put them on the site as well. So at least they're backed up for you.
Yeah, well, everything I do here is going to be all, it's in conjunction with Stogie Geeks. So it's not something just for me. I want my team. You guys have been fabulous with me. So, but yeah, it's something I want to definitely go down this road with you guys.
Well, one of the things you could do, if you go to StogieGeeks.com, Stogie Geeks listeners, Andrew, and you click on Stogies, they used to have reviews, and we do reviews, and I post them sporadically as well. We could do the video format and just line them up for Stogies. Because what it does is it has tags in there for the rating. So we can do Drew. They have a tag, Joe Zempa, Paul, other hosts, previous hosts, and all of that. And so the Stogie Geeks listener can now pull all of, or could always do it, what are all the ones that Joe listed as a 5er, or what are the only ones that Joe listed as an Oasis, or whatever, and then tag them if you're giving them a rating. And we can throw those up on the Stogie Geek site pretty quickly. Just so you know, your first week when we onboarded you for Stogie Geeks, we did give you that option. You just we're a little non-computer apt to do it yet. You know what I mean? But which if you still want me to camouflage and do that for you, I can send that there and post that video format up there for you, or do a section and whatnot.
Yeah,
so we can.
So I got my
certainly get that done for you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, because I in the last couple of months I've put together a small production staff with my assistant.
There you go.
And
production staff. And so we assistant.
Want. Yeah, these kids, they have this, they're doing these workshops in their college for credits in high school and things of that nature. And we have some of the top media people here, studios and things of that nature. So was able to make friends with a few people, and they're really liking this format that we're doing. And also, so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And so I look forward to rolling it out to you here probably in the next couple of weeks. Let you and Paul see some of the first deals, and then get your take on it. But I think you guys are going to absolutely love it,
just so
along
you
with
know,
all of our followers.
No, awesome. No, and just so you know, from a standpoint, like if we post it on the site, it'll go to your Facebook automatically.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, we're trying.
So we have that set in place if you wanted to utilize that. So yeah, well, when you get a batch of them, 3, 4, 5, send them our way, and we'll stick them as to where they go. Are you giving them a Stogie Geek rating, like as well, or because I know you were on some and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It was kind of on the backside of it, so on that side I wanted to get with you guys and figure that out. But yeah, I definitely want to do that because that was one of the things that I always got a lot of response from is when we actually rated them. So yeah, we definitely will take that down the road with this new format that we're going to be doing these on.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I've gotten emails saying, your sticks of the week, I've purchased this and this, I agree, disagree, and stuff like that. And I know there's a comment section on the site that you can monitor and all of that stuff there too. So yeah, absolutely. That's we can bring that back to life for sure. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Other than that, we're also going through a big growth process over at Prestige Cigars and Tobacco over at my home lounge in Bedford, Texas. We're expanding. We're doing a bunch of neat stuff. I'm actually the general manager of outside sales and outside events, for the location. Mm-hmm. So we're doing a whole new. We're growing. We're getting a new humidor built. Just a bunch of neat things for this cigar lounge that I'm very proud to be part of.
That's awesome.
And if you're ever in a DFW, if you find yourself here in the DFW area, please look up Prestige Cigars and Tobacco, and you'll find yourself in a lovely oasis.
That's awesome.
Of a cigar lounge.
Oh, sounds like you're taking some good advice about just doing your business, and then when you have to pivot, when the world tells you to pivot or the government tells you to pivot, then you make a decision accordingly. I like it.
That's right, brother.
That's some genius there. That's some genius advice there. That's awesome. Awesome, Drew. It's great to catch up with you for sure. Stogie Geeks, I want to remind you that we keep the conversation going all week long. Go to StogieGeeks.com. Check us out on Facebook.com/Stogie Geeks. We are on that Twitter thingy. You can follow Drew and I on Twitter. Email Drew at StogieGeeks.com or Joe H at StogieGeeks.com. I want to remind you that behind every cigar, there's a story worth knowing. Get out there and support your brick and mortar business. Special thanks go out to JC Newman, Havana Cigar Club, Placencia Cigars, and McAuliffe Cigars. Drew, thanks for joining me. Stogie Geeks, we'll see you next time. Peace. And there you go.
Wrap.